Namaste, everyone. Welcome to your class this morning. Today is Palm Sunday, a significant day in many religions. I was just thinking about it a moment ago. This is the 27th anniversary of my restaurant. I opened it on a Palm Sunday 27 years ago. And all 70 plus of my employees have been off for a couple of weeks and still trying to keep and maintain their salaries. So my practice this morning is going to be dedicated to all of my employees, all of the people who work with me, who are amazing. And think of someone or something. Think of the service of going in to pay taxes, just thinking of everything that we know about service. Maybe you can have Hanuman in your mind, selfless service to Ram and Sita. But thinking for a moment about service, selfless service. And find an intention for your practice this morning. It's going to be soft and gentle and easy. And let this intention have an offering built into it, something you're going to just give up, give away. And then gratitude, practicing a little gratitude for each other, for the yoga practices, for all of these things that we can share, for our food, our shelter. Gratitude. And with your offering and in your intention, in your mind, join me if you can, where you are in one home, signifying the beginning of creation all the way through infinity. Exhaling the breath, and then an inhale to chant. And then just letting your eyes flutter open on an inhale. And just shake out your hands for a moment. Today, everything's going to be low and slow and on the floor. So we're going to start working with our feet. So just get in a place where you can grab your right foot and shake it out. And then this is called cranking. So I'm going to try to not help my ankle. It's going to want to help and get in there. Taking it in one direction and then the other. If it starts to help you, just shake it out again. Good. And one more little shake. And then see if you can run your fingers through your toes. And if you can't get them in there, don't worry, get them in a few toes. And then a little more cranking in both sides, both directions. Good. And just shake out the ankle. And then a little back and forth movement at the hip. Just a little back and forth. Good. And then bring your foot right out in front and just a little straightening and bending at the knee. Just a little bending, straightening, not all the way straight. Don't lock your knee. Good. And then release that leg for a moment. Just notice the difference from one side to the other side. And then taking your left foot, just shake it out for a moment. And then a little cranking. It's going to want to help. So shake it if it starts to help. And then the other direction. And then, yes, shake. And then see if you can weave your fingers in between your toes. You can get them in there. Just weaving and massaging your toes. Good. And then release it and a little bit more shake. And then the hip socket. Good. Just working a little bit with the hip. Finding where the hip motion of the top of the femur in that little cup that holds it. Good. And then just straighten the leg out a bit. wherever you can get a straight leg. You don't want any torsion at your knee. And just straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. One more time. Good. And then just take that leg and put it back down. Wherever it was is really good. Excellent. And then let's do some body swirls around our pelvic basket. When you go back, think about your tailbone. When you go to the side, think about your left sit bone. When you come front, think about your pubic bone and right sit bone. So just rolling on that diamond shape of your pelvic floor. Your knees can come up as you roll to either side, rolling the spine around the pelvic basket. The next time you come back, let's go in the other direction. Think about sit bone, tailbone, sit bone, pubic bone, sit bone, tailbone, sit bone, pubic bone. One more. And come all the way to the back. Good. So find a nice comfy place. If your legs are in the air, maybe a block underneath them or a bolster, or roll up a blanket or stick anything under there so they're comfortable. Good. And then let's take our arms up overhead for a moment. Take a nice inhale, lift up, hold that breath. Don't exhale. Go to the left and exhale. Inhale up, hold the breath, exhale back and center. Okay, other side. Take a nice inhale, hold the breath, exhale. Once you're there, inhale back up and exhale, center and release. Good. So one more little twist for a moment. Think about where your belly button is. Think about where your sternum is, your breastbone, okay? So maybe put one hand on your belly button, the other hand on your sternum. So we're gonna keep from the belly button down, super stable, no twisting is gonna happen there. We're gonna slowly try to show our sternum out to the left. Keep your shoulders down and out of it. And on your next exhale, come back. Good. Same thing to the right. No twisting below. Keep your belly button where it is and take the twisting in your ribs. And exhale back. Good. Then just release your hands for a moment. And then working just with our neck. So taking just your chin out over your left shoulder. Bring your chin back. Chin over your right shoulder. Bring your chin back. Left shoulder, one more time. See if it goes a little bit further than it did. Bring it back. And right shoulder. And bring it back. And then just allowing the left ear to come closer to the shoulder, but look up, don't look down. Wherever it comes to is perfect. Just staying like that for a moment. And then taking your left hand and just press the neck back so you don't spasm a muscle. Good. And now, right side. Good. Keeping your gaze up. And then taking your right hand and just press it back up. Good. One more time to either side, this time with a little tiny bit of weight, ear to shoulder. And really notice the length in your neck muscles. If you'd like a little extra, you can reach out your right arm, just reaching the right arm out and away. And then with our left arm, whether our right arm is out or not, just a little tiny bit of pressure into the head, not too much, just lengthening the neck. And then walk your fingers to the other side of your head and press it back up. Good. And just relax both arms. Notice the different sides of the neck. Just notice how it feels. And then dropping your head to the right side. Good. If you want that little bit of stretch, stretching out your left arm. And then right arm, a little bit of pressure on your head, not too much, just enough that you feel a little bit of lengthening in the neck region. And then walk that hand to the other side of the head and press the head up. Good. And then reach both arms out for a moment. Let's make some goddess arms. And then bringing the forearms together and away from one another. Come just to neutral for a moment. Together and apart. Together and apart. This time go a little bit past that spot of neutral and come back slowly, as if you were moving through water. Come slowly back together. Goddess. And then open up nice and wide. Good. Take your forearms over, just taking the forearms over for a moment. And just a little twist from here, over to the left first. Keep your arms stable and back. Over to the right and back. You can keep your head out of it completely. You can just stay looking toward me. Twist and back and twist and back. Good. Arms back up to goddess. Breathing. Reach the arms up for just a moment. Bend the elbows. Take your thumbs toward your spine. Just feeling the thumbs toward the spine and the elbows coming in. Hopefully feeling a little bit of tension in the triceps. And then as if you were moving through water, very slowly begin to raise your arms up. Let the arms rise. Raise the arms up. Almost to straighten the elbows, not quite, and then back down. Press into the palms of the hands as you go back down. Elbows pressing in. Coming up. Slowly and down. And up. And down. Good. And then relax the arms down and let the back of the hand rest on the legs. Breathe. Close your eyes for a moment. Take about 5, 6 breaths. And just notice how your body feels. And then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open. Good. So just a little bit of side extension. So placing your left hand on the floor, right arm reaching out parallel to the floor to start. Then flip the palm over from the shoulder and palm, everything in external rotation. Go ahead and take the arm up, tuck it in close to you. You can even bend the elbow should you like, because all of the action that we're going to do right now is going to come from bending our left elbow. So take an inhale, press into the hand. And as you exhale, begin to bend the left elbow and just let the body come over as far as it comes without the hip coming up. So keeping your right hip stable on the floor. And on your next exhale, press the floor away and come up. Release the arm. Good. And then lean a little bit over to the right. Go ahead and bring up the left arm, just parallel first, and then open the whole arm at the shoulder. Good, little finger is toward me. And then bring the arm in. You can bend the elbow and just rest for a moment, right there with the elbow bent, because all of the action is going to come from your right elbow. So just making sure your left hip is firmly on the ground. Begin to bend the elbow and come over nice and slowly. Letting space in. And press up. Good. And both arms just touching the floor for a moment. really engaging the whole arm and lifting, a little deltoid work, and touching the fingers gently, lifting and touching the fingers gently, lifting and touching the fingers gently. Good. So just leaning back for a moment, taking your legs in front. We're going to do a little of our cat pose from a seated place. So it's going to be our arms that are going to command what we're doing here. So for now, just pull your ribs in close to your thighs. Find yourself nice and long. And your arms are in front. Your hands are in front. Just hold on to your shins. So here my arms are deeply bent. And when I look up and inhale, I'm going to roll my shoulders back and down and look up 45 degrees. And then when I exhale, I'm going to pull and straighten my arms. I may have to take my legs out a little bit more. And then inhale, come up, pull the chest through, look up. And exhale, look at your belly button and straighten your arms and come down. 3 more. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Maximum extension of the arms. Inhale. Bend your arms. Pull your chest through, shoulders back and down. Exhale. Belly to spine. Look down at your belly. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more inhale. Gaze up, look up, pause, and take a couple of breaths right here. Keep pulling shins in. Keep looking up. And then slowly find a neutral spot where your spine can just relax for a moment. Good. And then just a little bit more work with our knees. So our feet are apart. I'm going to show you like this so you can see that I don't have my toes together. My feet are apart. And I'm going to bring one to neutral and the other to toe to touch. So neutral and touch. Neutral and touch. Neutral and touch. Neutral and touch. And bring the left leg up. Good. Just reach through the toes, Barbie toes. So you point at your toes and you flex them both as if you had on some Barbie high heels. That's all the poor girl can wear. Okay. So toes flexed in both directions. And then bring your knees in. Toes are still flexed and not on the floor. We're balancing on our sit bones. So this little bit of sit bone balance, go ahead and hold on to your big toe if you can, if that's comfortable. Otherwise, just modify this as much as you need to, holding on to the other big toe. Good. And that same sort of action. And now my heels can touch a little, and I will begin to straighten the leg and lower it. Begin to straighten the leg and lower it. It does not have to go to straight, wherever it's comfortable. Keeping the knee and the shin and the thigh aligned. And then try for a second for both. Doesn't have to go very far. Just lift up. Pull your heart through your arms. And then let's take the soles of the feet together and rest the sides of the feet on the floor and open your legs broadly. Good, really pressing the toes together for a moment. And then just a little bit more footwork right here. Okay, so sitting tall, grabbing your left foot for just a moment and just opening it from the ankle. As much as you can open and a little massage to the foot. Follow the foot underneath each toe. Get the arch of the foot. The other side arch, you have an arch on both sides of your feet. And then reach back into the heel. Good. And then just put that foot back where it was. Let the feet touch for a moment. And then grabbing your other foot and from the ankle, deciding where you want to put it. You can put it anywhere on the floor, but as much as you can, massaging the foot. Ball of the foot, ball of each toe, pressing into the whole ball of the foot, then the arch, the other arch on the other side, and then the heel, just rubbing into the heel. If you have any parts that are tender and gentle, you may later want to look up what organs correspond to that on your feet, because it can give you some really good information. I hope none of you have achy feet, but sometimes we do, and sometimes this will stimulate a particular point that needs some attention. So just pay attention, and later you can look it up. And then put that foot right back in front of the other. Good. And then just one more foot exercise that we all can use. So pulling apart the big toes. So you can use your hands. Just pull apart the big toes. Good. Look at them. You can take your thumbs apart too. You can often, they'll follow your thumbs. So big toes apart, thumbs apart. Index finger, second toes separated. Middle finger, third toes separated. Ring finger, fourth toes separating. And little finger, fifth toes separating. And sometimes they're helpful and sometimes they're like, what are you talking about? So then you may need to pay some attention to them, because that will secure your ankle stability. The more flexible your toes are, the more stable your ankles are. Let's go back one at a time. Pinky finger, little toe, second finger, second toe, third finger, fourth finger, thumb, and big toe. Good, just pressing into one another. Press, 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 and release. Just let your legs soften. Good. And then for just a moment, drawing your heel into the groin, left heel into the groin, and your right leg back behind you. And wherever that gets you is fine. We're not going to do anything that's going to, you can let that right sit bone come up a little. Place your hand somewhere beside you. Good. And then open your arm wide. Then press into the arm on the floor and rise up. Let your arm come back and over. Press into your hand on the floor. Stretch and get big. And then come back down to your seat. Nice and slowly. And bringing in your right leg. Take your left leg back behind. Just lean over. Good. Initially, just opening the arm. Wherever the arm goes is perfect. And on your next, let's use our exhale. Press up. And open wide. Let your upper arm just lean and open. Breathing. And then slowly coming back down. Excellent. And then bringing both legs back into a comfortable space. Good. So sitting tall for a moment or two, just sitting really tall. Relax your body. Find a stable base in your body, formed by your legs, your feet, your bottom, maybe sitting in a chair, wherever you are stable. And out of that stable base, let the spine lift. Feel the spine lifting up, beginning to occupy a little bit of space above your head. Breathing. Doing a quick body scan to see if there's any tension in your body. Check with your feet, your toes, your calves, your shins, your knees, your thighs, your pelvic floor. up into your belly, front, back, side, side of the trunk, whole trunk of the body. Any tension, then you relax your shoulder blades down the back. Arms are heavy, hands, wrist, forearms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders, neck, head. Head just balancing gently at the top of the spine. Just noticing any tension and sending positive energy there, letting it dissipate. Finding your breath in the body and just noticing it in the belly or in the chest. And then on your next inhale, just gently letting your eyes flutter open. So today's practice will be a little different. We're going to start now our pranayama practice. And we're going to do a set of practices that are called the Swasa Yam Kriyas. Swasa means self, yam means restraint. So it's the 8 methods of breathing to create self-restraint for us, to help us fall into our self and restrain ourself, be able to control. So these breaths are simple. They're all either abdominal breaths, where the chest doesn't really expand, or they're chest breaths, where the belly stays in and doesn't expand. So it's a slow, even breath, but it's not a full yogic breath that we've been doing. So you'll either be in the belly, like I said, the belly will expand on an inhale and recede on an exhale, and you don't really move it up into your chest. In the chest breath, your belly will stay in and stable, and you'll breathe into the chest area. The ribs will come up and expand, and the belly stays stable. So those are the 2 breaths that we use through the practice. You'll breathe sometimes through your mouth and sometimes through your nose. Usually where we're in the abdomen, we'll breathe into the mouth, and where we're in the chest, we'll breathe into the nose. But these 8 practices prepare us for meditation, and they slide us right in. So with each of the kriyas, I will give the instruction, and then I'll ask you to do it 5 times. It's fine if you do it 6 times, 7 times, 4 times, whatever fits into that amount of time that you have. Just let go of the holding, of the restraint, of the counting, of whatever you're doing. Pause, feel the effects of the practice before going to the next one. And hopefully I'll give you plenty of time to do that, okay? So we need a nice tall spine. And your eyes can close softly. You might need to glance, but you're really going to have everything you need with just the cues. Just noticing your breath where it is now, belly or chest. Kriya 1. Inhale softly, gently, smoothly through the nose. Chest breath. Exhale softly, gently, smoothly through the nose. Chest breath. Inhale nose, exhale nose. We'll do this 5 times. Begin. Kriya 2. Inhaling slowly and gently, smoothly through the nose into the chest. Exhaling slowly, gently, smoothly through a partially open mouth. Chest breath. Inhale nose, exhale mouth. We'll do this 5 times. Begin. Kriya 3. Inhale into the belly, slowly, softly, gently, through a partially open mouth. Exhale slowly, smoothly, gently, through the nostrils. Abdominal breath. Inhale mouth, exhale nose. 5 times. Let's begin. Kriya 4. Using our right hand in Vishnu Mudra, tucking in the index finger and the middle finger, preparing your thumb to touch the right nostril, ring finger to touch the left nostril. We're going to circle the breath in. This is not Nadi Shodhana. We're going to start by closing off the left nostril, inhaling right, chest breath only, switch, exhale left, switch, inhale right, switch, exhale left. Chest breath, inhaling always through the right side, exhaling always through the left side. We'll do this 5 times. Let's begin. Right side start. Kriya 5. The same practice, but reversed, keeping the hand in Vishnu Mudra. This time we'll close off the right nostril and inhale left. Switch fingers, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Chest breath only, inhaling through the left nostril and exhaling through the right. As you're ready, exhaling the breath out and begin. 5 times. Kriya 6. Kriya 6 begins with an exhale, pushing the breath all the way out, pulling the abdominal muscles to the spine, releasing the muscles with a sudden release and letting the breath rush in. You may hear a sound of your inhale through the nose. Exhaling, pushing the breath out through the nose, releasing and inhaling through the nose. Kriya 6. We'll do this 5 times. Exhale, belly to spine. Release the belly, breath rushes in. Kriya 7. Abdominal breath, inhaling slowly and gently through a partially open mouth into the abdomen. Chest stays stable. Exhale, belly pulls in, also through the mouth as you exhale. Abdominal breath, inhaling mouth, exhaling mouth. We'll do this 5 times. Let's begin. Keep your focus with me, not on the gas man. Kriya 8. In our last Kriya, we divide our inhale into the chest into 5 even sips. 5 sips of an inhale into those 5 sips, filling the lungs in the chest, belly stays stable, and exhaling through a partially open mouth. Inhaling into the chest in 5 even sips, exhaling through a partially open mouth. We'll do this 5 times. Let's begin. Bringing our practice of the Kriyas to a close, we're going to move into our meditation. You might want to make a slight change. Be as still as you can be, finding comfortable spot, propping yourself up in any way you would like. Letting the ambient sounds, the roosters, the children, the gas man selling his gas, letting those sounds become helps for you to relax. Whether you hear that or whether you hear me ringing the bowl every once in a while. Letting our focus be on the breath. You can repeat to yourself silently, inhaling, exhaling. When you are inhaling, when you are exhaling. Don't control the breath, no control at all. You're simply describing what your body is doing. Inhaling, exhaling. The breath is soft and shallow and just enough to sustain. We're going to be here for about 7 minutes. Inhaling and exhaling. Notice the quality of your breath. Coming in warm through the nostrils, coming in cool through the nostrils. How is your room? Going out warmer through the nostrils. Going out, how is the breath moving? Find the quality of your breathing and focus on inhaling, exhaling. Sinking deeper into the breath. Surrender to the breath. If the mind wanders, bring it back gently. No judging, gently. Back to the breath. Surrender. Bringing your meditation to a close and finding Shavasana. Just letting yourself melt down to the floor into corpse pose. Letting go. Surrender completely to the floor. Legs, trunk, arms, neck and head. Let your jaw release. Letting your breath begin to deepen a little as we begin to bring the senses online. Starting with the eyes rolling in the socket in one direction, and then the other. Letting the tongue roam the mouth, the back of the teeth, the roof of the mouth, swishing it along the front of the teeth. And then opening the mouth wide as if you were yawning. Feel the snap and crackle pop of the ears as your hearing comes online. Wriggle your nose, smell. And then wiggling the fingers and the toes, touch. All 5 ways of bringing our information into the body-mind complex. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, lift your hips off and shift them away from me. And then curl over toward me into a C curve, all curled up, completely safe and secure. Breathing into this embryo, Gadabdasana. Notice where your breath is, into the belly, into the chest, into the back body, into the shoulders. Where is your breath? And then slowly and mindfully, we're going to keep our chin tucked into the chest as we rise up, using the upper arm, begin to spiral away. But keep the chin tucked in, letting your head be the very last thing that balances on top of your long spine. Just checking in. Body, breath, mind. How is your mind after today's practice? Slow, gentle, self-care, self-love. Again, out of your stable base, letting your spine lift and rise. And bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Remembering our intention and our offering. Remembering 2,000 years ago, on a Sunday, going into the village with palm leaves. Selfless service. Hanuman with his broken jaw, broken ego. Selfless service. Mother Teresa. Others that you can think of who have dedicated their life to selfless service. May we aspire to those qualities. Letting your intention, letting your offering slip out of your mind and down into your heart space. Hold it there warmly for just a moment with love and care and tenderness. And then letting it slip out of your heart into the palms of your hands and then lift it up and just let it go off into the universe. Just let go. Bringing the hands back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. I'm coming to you. I'm walking closer to the computer. So this is a time for little questions and answers, or only questions and no answers, or no questions. Let me get it where you can unmute. Hold on a sec. Okay, and let me go to my gallery view. Great. So, hi, my sweet Indy. My stepdaughter is online, and this is the first time I've seen her there with me, so I'm so happy to see her. Good morning, everyone. So Palm Sunday, and my restaurant, 27 years old this morning. We opened on a Palm Sunday, and made 1,000 quetzales, which back then was like, you know, maybe it was like $250 in that whole day from breakfast to night. We were so happy and so proud, we didn't know what to do with ourselves. And of course now I had 4 employees and 4 tables. And now I have 70 employees and 40 something tables. And now we've been closed for over 2 weeks. So a lot of cause for reflection this morning on this Domingo de Ramos, as we call it in Espanol. Good morning, everybody. Happy Palm Sunday. Juliet, it's so nice to have you back. I'm so glad you're back with us. And I read your story, which you told me your story, but reading it is even grosser.
It was crazy.
She's my good friend who impaled herself on a garden stake.
Yeah, I didn't go in.
I can hear you. I know that you're unmuted, but your mic must be off or something, because I can't hear you. I see you and I can see you're talking, and it tells me you are unmuted, but I can't hear you. Nope. Okay, you're gonna write.
Okay, I think it might be just you. Yeah,
You
it
could
was,
write it back. You can hear her? Oh,
it was crazy.
no, last night during that global meditation, I silenced it because the meditator was talking too much. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so it was just one of the things I learned about myself, because I'm kind of familiar with that response, is that I do go into shock when I get hurt. The paramedics asked me that, and I did. It was an incredible, I went into shock immediately, and that was crazy. I was drenched in sweat, and I was losing consciousness, and
It's
my
because you
sister,
have a tendency to low blood pressure, and that's
yeah,
so.
and anxiety. I mean, I've dealt with that all of my life. So my sister almost died when I was 10 or 11 she split her liver in two. So I was very aware of that, because I could see my stomach spasming, and it was really crazy. It was scary, but it was also an outpouring of love, from everyone around me. I have wonderful neighbors and close friends, and it was a moment of grace also. And what was interesting is, before that, when I was gardening, I was just standing there thinking, I am so happy. And I was taking in the moment, because I'm taking this Buddhist course on joy right now, and I was just soaking it in, over quite some period of time, just thinking, I am so happy. I'm so happy in this moment. And then 15 minutes later, so
What is it? You can't appreciate the happiness without the other things that make it so distinctly different. That was a very good Buddhist lesson.
yeah, and experiencing the courses specifically on mindfulness, so experiencing all of it mindfully also, being in the ambulance and thinking very mindfully, this looks so much smaller than on TV. And the whole experience in the ER, when they rolled me in, I heard the paramedic say to the doctor, she's remarkably calm.
And you wanted to say, no, I'm not. I am just out of it.
But thank you, Ginger. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I'm so glad you're back with us. It's really
Thank
nice to
you.
see you. And my
Thank you.
sweet girl, Indy, I haven't seen you. I haven't seen her since I left a couple months ago now. It's been quite amazing that it's now been 3 weeks since I was going to go back, and here I am still. So
we miss you.
I miss you. I miss you. Your dad and I check in about every second or sometimes third day. You know how he is. And then I check in with Connor, and Alex and I talk every day, and Rudy occasionally. But I'm glad to see your face. It's so nice.
I'm glad to see you.
Any questions? Hi, Charles. It's nice to see you this morning. Nice to see you. And my sweet Tanya, Jean, and the other Jean was here just a second ago. There you are. Any questions about the Swasyam Kriyas? Anything about the practice itself that was you want a little more explanation, or you would like it explained a little more? You would like me to send you something physical to look at? I have rewritten them in my way of teaching them, and I've got those available if somebody wants to try them on your own. They're in our Ashtanga Yoga Primer. Can't tell you how much this book means to us. Those of us in Guatemala, good luck with getting it here. But the Kriyas are such a wonderful way. It's just 8 actions. That's all Kriya. The word Kriya means action. So 8 actions, 8 different breaths that bring us into a meditative state. Did it prepare you better for meditation this morning to do those Kriyas? Right? Pretty nice. I know that in my hour class, I don't have time for all of that, but I hope that on Sundays we can make time to do the Kriyas and have a nice meditation. I was hoping for 10 full minutes of meditation today, but it took me a little longer to describe the Kriyas than I thought it would. So next time I'll move a little bit more quickly through the Kriyas, not rush, but I can start it a little earlier.
Ginger, did my question come through?
Oh, hold on, Tina. No? Not unless it was at the very beginning. It could have been at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yes, we've been practicing a lot, the belly and the chest breath a lot with this group in general. So yes, normally I would distinguish with it. But when I looked out this morning, and I know Indy knows it, but pretty much everybody that I saw on the screen has been doing this with me. Woo! For quite a while now. But yes, that's absolutely. We would spend some time on belly breath, chest breath. What I did want to say was, since those who were here yesterday, we did yogic breath, that it wasn't a yogic breath. We were not doing that at all. We were doing one or the other. But yes, generally, and of course, when we do it in when that's all isolated by itself, I have to explain it to people, you know. Yeah. Anybody else, any questions about the Kriyas? How would Kriya 6 is my Kriya 6 is for Juliet and me, somebody like or with low blood pressure, where you can control yourself and your breathing. It's the one where we, you know, exhale the breath all the way out, exhale, 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 then you release the belly and the breath comes in. That one is for total anxiety. It really brings your parasympathetic nervous system right back online and helps you get out of the sympathetic drive. And for one of my son's friends who had asthma, when I gave him that particular breath, he could feel himself going into like a superficial panicky breath, and then he could control it by exhaling, 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 and he would scrunch his belly, and I'd have him do it in a squat and scrunch, 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 and then stand up and big inhale. So it can be really a good, Kriya 6 is one of my favorite Kriyas, one of my favorite actions for breathing.
Ginger, I would like to do those on my own, and I don't have that book. So will this class ultimately be on YouTube as well?
Yes.
Or is there someplace else?
Yes, it'll
Okay.
be on YouTube in 2 days. It takes, we have Ennio, my dear, sweet, wonderful friend who is uploading these. It takes about it takes me a while to get it up myself, back into my stuff, and then into a Dropbox and then to him. So yeah, it's usually 2 days.
Okay, thank you.
There is a new message. Yes, everyone's blessing. Yeah, it is amazing. Palm Sunday. It's like Easter's here and coming, and it's like the most un-Easter, especially for those of you who live in Guatemala, and we know what Easter is like. It's the, you know, I think the second biggest celebration in the world of Good Friday, of penitence, and right now everyone's penitence is to stay home with their family. We have new restrictions as of today. There's no beaches, no anything. And if you're even in a car with your family headed somewhere, you can get ticketed and fined. There's no family hangout, no family, no anything. Because they want to make sure that people are not just going to get in the car, and like those who live in Guatemala City are going to drive to their beach home and take something with them, right? They want people to stay right where they are. So, well, let's all just go and contemplate on a service day, like how we can be of service to others on this day. Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's beautiful to see your faces. So nice to have you here. And I look forward to tomorrow, Monday, new week, new time, new day, new everything in my brain. Okay.